Our next speaker is Chef Daniel Esses. Chef Dan cooks with a New Orleans soul. He combines his culinary spirit with years of experience to create innovative dishes that showcase the natural flavors of hand-selected, high-quality ingredients. Dan has worked with notable New Orleans chefs, including John Besh, and is currently the owner of Three Muses with Sophie Lee Lowry and Esses Food. In 2016, Dan was named CEO of Dryad's Public Market on Aretha Castle Haley down the street. It's also where the food is from if you like it, and if you don't like it, it's delicious, in my opinion. With a dedicated team of partners and employees and vendors, Dan is helping bring a grocery store and community hub to Central City. Please welcome Dan.
Thanks, Meredith. Thanks, Stay Local. Thank you all for coming. It was short. Okay. All right, so I don't have any slides. I just have my notes. So I'm going to be talking about how to stay in business and thrive in a competitive environment. Really, all I have to say is bust your ass every day, 7 days a week, 24/7. It's your business. Drink, sleep, and eat your business. That's it. I'm basically going to kind of give you my, way I approach business and give you some examples. And, I always eat and sleep and dream my businesses. And, one of the examples is, I think it was my second anniversary. I thought it'd be a great idea to go on a pedicab ride around, go to where we had our first date, go to my restaurant for a minute or two and have a drink. When I told my wife that, she flipped out. She's like, "That's work." And I was like, "No, it's not work. It's home." She's like, "Home? That's our home." I was like, "No, it's my business and it's my life." And that's kind of how I approach business. And if you do that, you'll always be successful in more than, maybe not financially, but spiritually. I mean, this is your business and it should be your life. It should be who you are. We didn't stay at Three Muses. I made a huge mistake and we left. But that just goes to show you where my mind was. So there's a lot of do's and don'ts. I think the don'ts are just as important as the do's. When I first started cooking, I read a book called Becoming a Chef, and there was a lot of extremely inspirational things in the book. And one thing that I got was always have a notebook and write down what the restaurant is doing wrong, and the don'ts. And so when I first started cooking, I always knew that I wanted my own restaurant, so I started writing, what is the chef doing I don't like? What is this restaurant doing that's, I went through a lot of restaurants that closed. What did they do? I made notes. So when I was able to open my own place, I knew a lot of things not to do. And those are almost as important as what to do, sometimes more important. So there's also contradictions. There's things that you always say, you're going to do this, but also do this. Your customer's your lifeline, but the customer's not always right. There's a lot of contradictions. I'm not really going to go into financial stuff, mostly because that's not my forte. I'm a chef, I cook. And I think a lot of people know it's obvious. You got to watch your numbers, and I'm not going to sit here and do that. But I'm just going to kind of go through a lot of the examples and kind of start how you start your business. This way you can be in a good position to grow it. So really, first you want to start with a product that no one's doing, or if someone's doing, you better do it better. Esses Foods, there's no fresh pasta company in the city. I started a fresh pasta company. I'm the only one doing that. So it helps me with my sales. I can go to any supermarket. I'm the only local one doing it. So that gives you an edge. So when you start your business, it's the most important, is starting. You have to start and set yourself up for success, or else you'll fail. A good start will help you compete when you're starting your business and there's competition. If you don't start well, you won't be on a good foot to compete. Really, you want to start with spending as little money as possible. I know that's obvious, but it needs to be said. Ask yourself, do I really need this nice chair? I can use a cheaper chair. Think about the ways you can save money. Every penny counts. Don't overspend on trivial things. Once you get started, you have sales coming in, you can afford something nicer, a nicer chair, a nicer, comfortable, a better printer. Don't always think you have to have the best of everything to start. You really don't. You really can do with a lot less. It's It's more important in a restaurant where your margins are a lot lower, but in all businesses, your margins are pretty low, if we really think about it, unless you're dealing drugs where margins are pretty good. In a real business, they're not that great, so every penny counts. It's essential for your business. What's going to make, only buy what's essential for your business. What's going to make you money? Is that nice chair going to make you money? No, unless you're selling chairs. So, obviously numbers-wise, you got to have working capital. 3 to 6 months is industry standard. You need to pay your employees. If you can't pay your employees, you're out of business. So always think about that when you go into business. Most importantly, don't grow too fast. Most businesses get ahead of themselves. Even if your sales are great, just slow down. Make sure you do what you do what you do right. Don't get into too much debt. Don't go by getting loans and loans. Even if your banker says, "Hey, I got a loan for you," think about it before. Do I really need this loan? Before you go into debt, because the debt will kill you. And make sure you really know your business model. Know what you're doing and know it well. There was a business that closed, Good Eggs, that closed. It was a great business, but they spent a lot of money on things they didn't necessarily need. They had parkas to go into the freezer. Those were hundreds of dollars of parkas. Did they really need that? No. They could have just told people to bring lots of, sweatshirts. You always have to have a passion for what you do, obviously. So go in, lead by example. It does overflow to your employees. At Three Muses, it was great. All the 3 owners were there, and they really loved seeing us there. So that really helps. Employees, critical to every business, obviously. Treat them with respect. Make sure you offer them a livable wage. Make sure you give them some benefits. Maybe pay their life insurance or benefits or phones or gas. Just the little things. Your key employees, not all your employees, but some of your key employees, because they're really going to be helpful. Because you can't be there all the time. Recognize their strengths. A lot of restaurants promote within and then open new restaurants with those chefs. And it gets their business out and they don't have to work those restaurants. Listen to your customers. They'll definitely dictate to you what your business should be and what this should be about. Don't try to force anything onto them or else they'll fight you and they're going to win. But here's the contradiction. Never underestimate them as well. Try to push them a little bit. Once you've earned their trust, you can push them a little bit more. When I took over at Marinade Brasserie, the owners wanted me to do only, local food like gumbos and jambalaya, which is all great, but I wanted to do more seasonal, fresh ingredients with local ingredients. And I pushed my customers to want more, and they really appreciated that. They didn't want what they can get New Orleans food anywhere else. So that set me apart as well. So those are your fundamentals. You start with that, and then you can grow. So once you grow, once you want to become successful and beat the competition, you have to grow. So always grow, always progress, be innovative. Always strive for more, constantly work on increasing your sales. I go out to all the supermarkets and I try to, each day I said, okay, I'm going to go to 4 more supermarkets, try to sell to more supermarkets, try to get out there. Don't just rest on your laurels. Also, you want to be, the social media is really important. You want to advertise with them. You also want to have a human side to yourself too. So you laugh at yourself. At Dryads, we used to be Jack and Jake's, and we had 10,000 grocery bags that said Jack and Jake's on it. So I just crossed out the Jack and Jake's and wrote Dryads. It's obvious what we were. The whole city knew what we were. We weren't going to escape that. So I embraced it. I laughed at it. I said, go ahead, let's go. This is what we are. This is where we came from, and we're just going to keep growing, and eventually you'll forget about it. I think traveling helps a lot. Also, it helps you see what else is out there, see what other cities are doing. You might be doing something, they might be doing something totally different than you are, and when you come back here, you're like, oh, I'm the only one doing this. This is great. In 2004, I was a chef at the Bank Cafe. At that time, I was the only restaurant to do antipasti platters with cured meat and roasted vegetables and cheeses. Now everybody's doing that. So it just set me apart from everybody else. I thought that was kind of great. Also, get out there and do fundraisers. Fundraisers are really our advertising now. The more you're out there, the more people see you. It's you're always in everyone's eyes, and that's really important just to stay fresh. And so going to competition, and I'll wrap it up. Don't be afraid of the competition. Let it motivate you. On Frenchman Street, everyone saw our success. Now everybody's doing that, but we're a step ahead of them because we knew they were coming. And so we're always telling our employees, do better, do better, do better. And we renovated, and we wanted it to have more people come in. So we're always trying to stay ahead. We saw it coming, and we were prepared for it. So now there's, all these big places are doing music and food. But we were always a step ahead until when everybody was more competition, we had increased our dining capacity. So we were able to handle that. But we're also selling the best food, so people can see that. So if you do all these things I've said, you'll be rich and successful. Okay? Thank you very much. I appreciate it.